I picked up a massive haul of video games, DVDs and Blu-rays, and I found a huge DVD bolo. Hey guys, Uncle Wayno here. As you would have seen from the title, I picked up a massive haul of video games, DVDs and Blu-rays. I'm going to show you in a bit. I filmed it a few days ago, but I'm actually refilming it because I've got a bit more information about what was actually in there now. So I will go through the footage that I filmed the other day and show you what I got. I'll just give you a quick rundown of how this came about. It was kind of an interesting one. I woke up on Saturday morning, I did a bit of work, and I was looking on Facebook and there was a garage sale, and I had a look. There was a few pictures and it just looked like all garbage there, so I just ignored it. And I did a bit of work and I actually was not feeling great, so I had a bit of a nap. 3 hours later I wake up from my nap and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and the same person has put up a new post for the same garage sale with different pictures. And there was a picture of all these old Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, Game Boy games. And I just thought, wow, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the garage sale started at 10. I thought, these are either going to be gone or they're going to be way too dear. But I just sort of messaged them anyway. I almost didn't, but I thought I might as well. You never know. So I messaged them and they were all still there. They said the games were pending. So I asked about DVDs and they sent me a photo of a big shelf of DVDs. I couldn't actually see what titles were on them because the photo was blurry. But I thought, stuff it, I'll come over. They said the DVDs were $2 each, so there was bound to be a few good ones in there. So let's stuff it, I'll go over, and all the games are still there. They weren't pending. I don't know why she said that, but anyway, I sort of just ignored the DVDs when I walked in. I didn't really want it to be let known that that's what I really wanted. And I walked up to the table with all the games on it, and I said to the bloke, oh, how much you want for the lot? And he ummed it out a bit, and he said, oh, maybe 500. And I said, how about I do 500 on the games if you throw in all the DVDs for 200? There's about 500 DVDs there. It's heaps, probably more than that even. Hadn't even looked at the titles. I knew there was some good stuff there. I could see some box sets and stuff. I thought if I could get them for 200, it was a no-brainer anyway. So he sort of said, he ummed and ahed a bit, and he went, yeah, all right, no worries. And I said, do all the games work? There was a Nintendo console, a PSP, all this other stuff. You'll see it soon in the footage. And he said, the only one I haven't tested is the Nintendo, and he said, I can do that now. So he went and tested it, and it didn't work. So he came back, and I said, look, well, since it doesn't work, we'll leave that out, and we'll do 400. And he said, what about 450? Now, behind me, which I hadn't even got to yet, which I was planning on getting to, was a big shelf of Xbox 360 and PS3 games. So he said, how about 450? I said, how about 550? And you throw in the broken Nintendo and all those games behind me. And he just sort of said, yep, all right, why not? Let's do it. And the deal has ended up being way better than I thought. I had not looked at any of the Xbox titles or the PS3. I mean, I got them for $100 basically, and there was over 100 of them. There's probably about 120 total. So we racked them all and chucked them all in boxes and stuff, and loaded them home. And I got the stuff home and I started looking through it, and it's an unbelievable deal. It really is an unbelievable deal. This guy was into anime and all this sort of stuff. Again, you'll see it soon, but I just wanted to share with you how it came about. It was really quite interesting. I couldn't believe the stuff was still there, for $500. Like, someone else would have taken that. I just think it's because of all the COVID restrictions. People aren't really doing garage sales yet. These guys, it was all legit. They had the check-in code and everything. I actually didn't think it was allowed at the moment, but it is apparently, as long as you got the check-in code and all that crap. So I'll flick you over to the footage now. I'll show you what I got. All right, so this is it. This is the whole lot. All these retro games down here, these are the ones, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, all that. You can see there's quite a few there. There's a Game Boy Advance, PSP, Wii U, Nintendo, original Nintendo. There's a DS and a 3DS there as well. He said the PSP works fine, it just needs a new battery, so that's fine, I can get one of those. And obviously the Nintendo didn't work, but I can still sell that for parts anyway. Yeah, some really cool stuff here. I've already sold a bunch of this stuff. Some of it I haven't listed yet, but most of this sort of stuff I have listed. But yeah, a couple of these games are like $100 games. I had no idea. I'm not that familiar with the older games. It's not something I come across a lot, and I'm not a collector of games, so when I get the older games I really have to comp them to find out what they're worth. But there was a couple here. There's a Simpsons Itchy and Scratchy Game Boy there that's I've listed for about $115 or something stupid, and mine's the cheapest on eBay. So that's all the games and the retro games, and then there's like all these PS3 games and a few PS4 games. There's about 40 of them. There's like 75 Xbox 360 games, and there's some absolute killers in here. I've already sold one of the PS3 games for $100. There's a few Wii games there as well on top. But this guy was like right into anime and stuff. There's a bunch of anime games in there. These DS games are all really good as well. A couple of these were actually missing the cartridges, but still only like 2 of them. And then we got all the Blu-rays and DVDs. Like, again, he was into anime and Japanese like martial arts stuff, some of the real popular stuff. I've sold an absolute banger already. I'm going to show you that soon. And then there's the typical kind of box sets, The Shield, Seinfeld. At the back there is South Park and The Simpsons. If they're not the full sets, they're pretty close. They do look a bit beat up though, so I'm not sure about those ones. The complete Everybody Loves Raymond. There's a whole bunch of other TV series that are complete in the back there. And then you've just got your normal DVDs over here. And you know, there's a lot of crap in here. There always is, but I always say that DVD lots, you're probably only going to keep about 10 to 20% of them, maybe 30. This one is kind of the other way around. I'm probably keeping about 60% of these DVDs, maybe a little bit more, because this guy's taste, he just liked all the sort of cult following stuff. Again, anime. There's a ton of anime in here. You can't see it here in the video because it's all sort of mixed in and shit. Yeah, I have sold one of these DVDs for an absolutely unbelievable price. You won't believe it when you see it. I've never heard of this show before. I still haven't even looked it up to see what the show is, but I have sold it for $400 for one DVD. Unbelievable. Moral, oral, or however you say it. I might chuck a little clip in here if I can find something.
What's more, your track coach, Mr. Stopframe, has just sent me a 12-page letter.
What does it say?
Oh, many, many things. But here on page 7, he mentions you.
Oh, but why did he send you?
He says that you've been coming in with slower and slower times at practice.
What else does he write about, Dad?
Well, that's all as far as you're concerned, but don't you think that's enough?
Gee, I didn't even know you've met Coach Stopframe.
I don't think I have. But your performance must have made a large enough impact on him so that he would mention it offhandedly in the middle of this beautifully written letter.
I looked this one up. I was listing all of the anime and stuff and the other animation stuff, and I looked this one up on eBay. I couldn't find any comps, so I googled it. Could not find any for sale anywhere, literally nowhere on the internet. So I thought, wow, this is crazy. This is pretty rare. I almost just chucked it up for $100 just as a guess, but I thought I'll look into it a bit more. I found a Reddit post with guys talking about it from only like 2 months ago. Apparently it's an Australian only release. Volume 1, it's Volume 1, 2 and 3. Volume 1 was released overseas. 2 and 3 was only released in Australia. So this set was only released in Australia and it was a really limited run. And everybody loves it apparently. And these guys were talking in this thread about how they'd pay $200 for it easy. They saw one for sale for $1,000 and they were like, that's way too much. And they're like, I'd pay $200 for it easy. Like, I just want it, blah, blah, blah. So I just took a stab in the dark. I chucked it up for $500. The next morning I woke up to a $400 offer from Canada. So I took it. I'm going to get a little bit extra on top for the shipping from Canada anyway. $400 for a DVD. Now this whole lot I paid $800 for. Total $800, and I've sold this one DVD for $400. I couldn't believe it. I was pretty stoked. Just an awesome lot. You know, I've already sold another game for 100. I've sold a whole ton of other DVDs and Blu-rays already. I mean, it's only been a few days, so not a ton, but I have sold a heap of them already. I'll chuck a few of them up here now so you can see them. But what I'm going to do is I am keeping track of this lot, this one big lot. I'm keeping track of, and somewhere down the line, maybe in a couple months or something, I'm going to come back to this video and I'm going to do a what sold for everything that I sold in from this lot. I think I'm gonna make about $5,000 out of it. I'm hoping I'm gonna make about $5,000 out of it. I always undervalue lots. I was gonna say 3, but I think I will get up to about 5. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully I get there. But if not, I think it'll be pretty close anyway. I haven't even listed any of the consoles or anything yet. And I've already doubled my money. So in like 3 days, what is it, 5 days it's been. So yeah, I've already doubled my money just on a few games and some DVDs. So it's pretty crazy. And there's a whole bunch of that I haven't even listed yet. So I've still got to get around to doing that. So that's what we'll do. We'll come back and we'll check this out in the future. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching all the way through. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Look after yourself, be kind, and we'll see you on the next one. I picked up a massive lot of video games, DVD.